the Barbarian, guardian of Mount Arreat. You stand before the guardians of Mount Arreat. We do not know fear, we do not surrender. While one of us still draws breath, Arreat shall never fall. Prologue, Sons of the Mountain. Long before the primevals walked openly in the world, long before the kingdoms of men rose and fell, there stood Mount Arreat, a sacred and towering peak in the far north. It was no ordinary mountain. Beneath its frozen crown lay the World Stone, a relic of immense power, placed there by the Archangel Inarius and guarded by order of the heavens. It was the key to shaping sanctuary, the barrier between the worlds of heaven and hell. To protect this holy place, the barbarian tribes were chosen, not by destiny, but by blood and fire. They were not born, they were forged, hardened by the unforgiving cold of the north and tested through battle against beasts, demons, and each other. They were known simply as the Children of Bulkathos, named after the great immortal king who united the tribes under a single creed to protect the World Stone at all costs. The barbarian of our tale was born of this lineage. His name is lost to history, as is their custom. Names are for the weak and the vain. He was called many things in his time: Wanderer, Son of the North, and later, the Defender of Arreat. From a young age, he was trained to be a warrior, to feel no pain, and to kill with precision. He wielded two mighty axes with unrelenting fury, every swing echoing the ancient war cries of his ancestors. But his fate, like the World Stone he swore to protect, was no longer his to command. Chapter 1: The Call to War. The barbarian lived during the time of greatest peril. News reached Harrogath, the last barbarian stronghold, of a dark traveler moving across the lands, leaving destruction in his wake. This man was once the hero who defeated Diablo in Tristram, but now bore the Lord of Terror's soul. Diablo had returned, and with him came his brothers, Mephisto and Baal. The barbarian descended from the mountains, following the trail of corruption, through the plains of the rogues, the deserts of Lut-Golen, the jungles of Kurast, and into the very bowels of hell. He fought alongside other brave souls: the paladin of Zakharum, the sorceress of the eastern reaches, the Amazon of the Asgari, and the silent necromancer. His strength was unmatched. Where others wielded magic or subtlety, he met evil with steel and raw power. In Tal Rasha's tomb, he stood against Duriel. In Mephisto's lair, he cleaved through corruption. In hell, it was his hammer that shattered the final seal, and his battle cry that rang out as Diablo fell once again. But the war was not over. Chapter 2: Lord of Destruction. The final battle brought him home to Mount Arreat. Baal, the last of the primevals, had set his sights on the World Stone. With an army of demons, Baal laid siege to Harrogath. The barbarians fought with the fury of ages, but the demons were endless. High on the slopes of Arreat, the barbarian met Baal's forces head-on, cutting down fiends by the dozens, refusing to yield an inch of sacred ground. He entered the Worldstone Keep alone, battling through horrors that twisted reality. There in the heart of the mountain, he faced Baal, Lord of Destruction, in single combat. The clash shook the very mountain, but the barbarian prevailed. Baal fell. Victory, however, came with a price. Tyrael, the Archangel of Justice, appeared before him, not with praise, but with grim resolve. The Worldstone had been corrupted by Baal. It could no longer be protected, and so Tyrael hurled his sword into the crystal spire, destroying it. The mountain trembled, the skies wept fire, and the barbarian could only watch as everything he had sworn to protect, everything his people had died for, was obliterated in a flash of celestial light. Epilogue, A world unbound. The destruction of the World Stone changed the world forever. The ancient boundaries that kept heaven and hell from touching the mortal realm were gone. The world was now exposed. The barbarian had fulfilled his oath, but in doing so, had released a new and unknowable fate upon the world. Harrogath lay in ruins, the barbarian people scattered. But he did not rest. The loss only deepened his resolve. No longer a guardian of a mountain, he became a wandering war chief, traveling the broken world to defend it from the darkness that seeped into every corner. His hair turned white, but his eyes burned with undying fire. Wherever demons rose, he met them with fury. Wherever the weak cried out, his war cry answered. He became legend, a ghostly warrior of the north, said to appear in the heart of battle and disappear when the blood cooled. Legacy and the future. Though the original barbarian was never seen again after the fall of Mount Arreat, his legacy endured. In Diablo 3, new barbarians rose, descendants or disciples of the old way. These warriors wandered sanctuary, bearing the scars and memories of their fallen homeland. They sought to rebuild what was lost, to continue the war against the burning hells. And in Diablo 4, the barbarian walks again, scarred by time and sorrow, but stronger than ever. The strength of the ancients flows through their veins, and the voice of Bulkathos still echoes in the wind. The barbarian story is not just one of strength, it is one of duty, loss, and relentless will. They are not merely fighters, they are a people bound by a sacred oath to stand against the darkness, even when the world itself crumbles. And in that oath, they find immortality. We are the children of Arreat, we are the mountain. And though the mountain is gone, we remain.